Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This time we're going to be looking at Notts County Football Club, commonly known as Notts, and it is a professional football club based in Nottingham, England. The club competes in the EFL League 2, the fourth tier of English football, following promotion from the National League in the 2022-23 season. Founded in 1862, Notts County are the oldest professional football club in the world. They first competed in the FA Cup in 1877 and in 1888 became one of the 12 founding members of the Football League. So in this video we're going to be looking at the grounds that they played at. So obviously the early grounds we're going to be looking at first, OVs. And the testimony of founding members indicates that prior to the club's formal organisation, they would meet somewhere called Park Hollow in the park. Now, this is based in Nottingham, and they use this to practice football amongst themselves. An early club secretary recalled being taken by my father to the park, where he and his partner and a number of younger men, principally from the banks, met to kick a ball about, without any very definite rules. These meetings had moved to the Meadows cricket ground by 1863, the same ground that the club's first organised matches took place on. The Meadows remained the club's main home ground until October 1877, though the team occasionally played important fixtures such as the 1873 match against a representative team from London at Trent Bridge. In 1877, Notts moved home matches to the Gentlemen of Nottinghamshire Cricket Club's ground in Beeston. And between 1878 and 1880, the club split its games between the Meadows, Trent Bridge and Beeston. In 1880, Notts moved to the Castle ground, where they remained until 1883. Notts moved to Trent Bridge in 1883, taking over the tenancy from Forest, in other words Nottingham Forest. Football was played on the Fox Ground side of the ground, and facilities were initially basic, with only a small stand at the Radcliffe Road end and a pavilion, the latter of which being some distance away from the football pitch. Later developments included a stand which Notts would take with them when they moved to Meadow Lane in 1910. Notts County's record attendance at Trent Bridge was 25,000, reported for an FA Cup third round tie against Tottenham Hotspur in February 1907, and again for a First Division match between Everton in December 1908. Cricket took priority at Trent Bridge, and Notts were consequently required to play early and late season fixtures at other grounds. Initially they used the Meadows and the Castle grounds as alternative venues, but eventually they began using Forest ground. Notts first used the town ground in 1895 and first played at the City ground in 1899. They continued to use the latter as their alternative venue until 1908. In 1901, a row broke out when Stoke defeated Notts 4-2 at the City ground, a result crucial to the former avoiding relegation. Other clubs argued that Stoke could gain an unfair advantage by not playing at Notts County's main home venue, and in 1902 the Football League asked that Notts play all their home matches at one ground. Eventually, in 1908, the trustees at Trent Bridge decided not to renew the football club's lease, giving them 2 years to find a new ground. Notts leased land on Meadow Lane from Nottingham Corporation in 1910 and swiftly set about developing a new ground there. It opened on the 3rd of September 1910 when Notts drew 1-1 with Forest before 27,000 spectators. Originally, a stream ran adjacent to the ground on its lean side, and the club employed a man with a long pole and cane basket charged with retrieving the ball when it entered the water. Wow. In 1925, the stream was covered and the county stand was built. In 1941, during World War II, the ground was heavily damaged by bombing, forcing Notts to withdraw from wartime competition in the 1941-42 season. In 1949, 10 to 12 feet of height was added to the spion cop end of the ground to help accommodate the large crowds attending matches at that time. The Meadow Lane end was demolished in 1978 to be replaced by a complex containing a social club, executive boxes and squash and tennis courts. In 1985, the pitch was shortened as spectators in the boxes were unable to see the goal mouth directly below them. Major redevelopment work to convert Meadow Lane into an all-seater stadium occurred in the 90s, with 3 stands being rebuilt during one summer in 1992. The original main stand stood until 1994, when it too was replaced. In 2019, the stadium held a maximum capacity of 19,841 spectators for football matches, with 20,211 seats overall. During the 2023-2024 season, average attendance at the ground was 10,905, the third highest in League 2. And again, that concludes another video. I would like to thank the people who are watching this video. Subscriptions ain't high, but to be quite honest, I'm not really bothered about that. What I am really happy about is the amount of people that are watching the videos. That's the most important thing. It shows that there's some enjoyment and stuff from people. So thank you very much for your nice comments. If you're into local history, railways, or into old buildings and stuff like that, I do actually have another channel. It's called Andy to Know. So that's Andy to Know. That's also on YouTube, and there's around nearly 70 videos on there now, so please feel free to have a look if you want to. Also do apologise if I stuttered a little bit in this video. Quite obviously I do suffer from something called FND, so sometimes I do struggle to get my words out. Lastly, I would like to thank my friend Lee Metcalf for providing one of the pictures while he was on one of his football away days, so thank you very much, Lee, greatly appreciated, and I'll pop your name on the photo. So until next time, please take care of yourselves, like, share, subscribe, and cheerio.